We find out that 75 to 78% of million Nigerians bet every day. Now, how do you transform that energy of betting into investment? Because betting is like investment as well.
Hello everyone, welcome to WebTV Focus program. We spotlight issues that are of interest to the household. I am Gabriel, Jude from Lagos, Nigeria. Today, focusing on wealth creation, one of humanity's primary pursuits, and leveraging legitimate platforms, especially the capital market, is a key avenue for achieving this goal. And this edition will be the continuation of a series on online trading platform in the Nigerian capital market, and we shall be looking at leveraging digital assets to enhance retail investor participation. And my guest in the studio today is Dr. Olufemi Oyenuga, Group Executive Director, Business Development and Chief Marketing Officer, Chams Holdco Company PLC. You're welcome on the program.
Thank you very much, Gabriel. Good morning and happy to see you. Happy to be here.
Before we start the conversation, let's have some reaction videos from Nigerians in one way or the other, spoke about their understanding and likewise their experience on online trading platforms. We'll be right back.
What would you say is your experience with the online trading platform?
My experience with the online trading platform is not just about trading. It's something that you need to learn and know more about it. And after knowing more about it, you also try and start trading. If you start trading, not just putting money, you need to focus on the trading, because when you put money, more especially like when you want to trade, maybe you want to buy or sell, you need to read and check the limit, like how many hour or how many minutes that you want to trade. And even not about that one too, there's some other way you need to learn also, like studying the trading and checking in and out about it. So it's something where all the, like, more especially young people, because we always try to find a way that maybe I want to make money. Yes, trading is good.
For some of us, we know something about it, just like general knowledge, but probably interest. We not put our interest. We don't think that's where we want to make our money. So, and I think it's so for many other people. But I can tell you that it's a whole lot of people do, because, for example, on this island and most places you go, even in the villages, people are trading. They've made it easier. I remember in those days when we were in Ogun State University, they were trying to teach us some of these things, some of those self-development things so that you can be independent financially. The thing was so complex. I've tried going for one class at the Keja when I graduated and all that. But these days, it's simple tools. Anybody can do it the way I see. But then, if you hear the likes of the big wigs in it, one young man they call Jeff, he doesn't know me, but I know him. I've met with him. We have talked because coincidentally, the nature of my job, I happen to come across him, and he's one of the biggest. So if it is about making money, at least I've seen people who have made money.
Cryptocurrency, how do we handle it? How is it going to turn out to be? Those are my reservations, because, I don't want to call us fraudulent people, but I know we can do things right if we want to. I'm believing that we'll be able to get it right, but I want to see the way it turns out.
This life is very versatile. We have the good side, we have the bad side. My own first trading was PCX, PCAX. That's what I was using before. My friend introduced me to it. At the first, it was $500. From $500, we start increasing. We trade 12, 3, and 4. At the long run, they said that we were having an automatic trading, whereby just on your phone automatically, the trading will start rolling over. From there, one of the sudden, sometimes after Ramadan time, so we just had the issue that they want to block it. It's not being licensed. It's not the government is not approved it, that we should not do it again. Okay, guy, my money there inside this trading now. What's going to happen now? I have roughly like 500 I think is it $5,000, $5,000 or $4,000. If it's not for network, I could have showed you now. My money is still hanging there. So Pixel is now come up again that okay, we should pay $200 at the long run, so they will reopen it. So that once they reactivated it, so by your trading at the long run, you have your money back. Yes, we Nigerians now like money now. We don't want to hear money for a year. So at the long run, we traded, we paid $200. Up to now, they've moved us to December again. That is when in December time, that's how you can be able to withdraw your money, which is unfair.
The first time I started doing trading, I was thinking maybe something I will just put money in and I will just blow. No, I lose also. And from there I started knowing that okay, this is how this goes. When I put money, I will need to learn, not just putting that money. So because if you lose, don't give up. Still keep pushing.
Once you say something is digital or networking, it will have go through the necessary processing so that citizens won't fall victim.
To improve our financial flow, then I think the regulators will buy it and then make sure that the thing it's contributing to the economy. If you ask me, it's contributing.
They should make that regulation be lenient. So for every company that wants to register, so it will be easier for them to register, because everything now it should still go back to them. If they scam people, they will still owe them responsible that they are not doing their job. But if they can make the registration be smooth and not be being rigid, so everybody will be like, okay, let me go for registration. Let's start with this company. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. But to me, it's good. It's okay. I can recommend somebody that should come and do it because it's good.
Yeah, if it's regulated well, definitely, I would love to venture into it. I think, like I told you, I think that is the future.
Right, Doctor, thank you once again for coming on the program. So let's begin with the Investment Security Act 2025. How do you see this unlocking opportunities for the capital market?
Thanks, Gabriel. I think that's a fantastic question. You know, you have to trace the history and the story of how we've evolved in this nation and in this region in terms of security investment. Initially, the entire orchestration of how securities are traded was not fully understood by the populace and a lot of people, because they think it's actually a cabal for the big boys. And what the Securities Act of 2025 has done is move the discussion a bit closer to the population, expose what is required for you to create wealth through securitized investments. Are you doing equities type of investment? Are you doing a now tokenized type of investment? Are you doing a ETFs type of investment? What kind of asset class comes into that? Now, what that act does is that is projected the ability for citizens to actually play around the entire market infrastructure, deepening the market. That's number one. That's what that act does. Exposing it to a more digitally aware, savvy, and crypto community, crypto citizen, and then seeing the opportunities and plethora for the generation that's changing. So those are some of the things that act has, and I think it's a fantastic one. A lot of director generals in SEC have been working on it, but I think this securities act that came up is a solution that has found a problem and a problem that has found a solution. So it's two in one.
So I would like to come in here. So the post-2007 market crisis, we've seen that the Nigerian stock market grappled with attracting quite a number of investors into the market. And then with your expertise and your experience in developing the modern technology in the market, what have you seen happening in the market in times of growth? Should we expect more tailored products that will the Gen Z investors?
Thank you very much. That's a brilliant question. Why do people create wealth, Gabriel? People create wealth because they are thinking about their future. They're thinking about longevity. They're thinking about comfort. They're thinking about security. They're thinking about many things That's why they create wealth. But when the market now went kaboom in 2007, all those hope and aspirations were dashed. Now, what was missing then was what I usually call in simple language, maker checker. Maker checker using digital technology to assure the entire process, to bring governance to the process, to bring clarity to the process, to bring engagement to the process of actually trading in the capital market, and to also do what? Expand the horizon of the capital market and trade. What has happened after that is that we learned from that, failed forward, and created a market that is all for all. For instance, you know that we have about 7 different, capital market institutions in Nigeria, and more will come. But if I look at where I operated, which is the stock exchange, what they demutualized the exchange to create a commercially centric exchange. That brought in a lot into the market. Are we there yet? I don't think we're there. Are we moving in the right direction? I think the direction of travel is positive. Because if you look at the exchange, they only have 174, less 200 companies that's listed. Different types of platforms that you can be on the exchange. Either you're on the premium board, the growth board, tech board, and all that. All that is driving momentum, to your question. To the Gen Zs, there's something in it for them as well, because the Securities Act that you just mentioned has now allowed for crypto trading, which is a game changer. Now, that is a game changer that all of us are learning and trying to understand the implication of it. What does it mean to people currently doing fiat and analog trading at the moment? So how do they plug themselves in? How does it increase the ability to have trust? Because the exchange is a trusted business. How do you actually trust online trade? How do you ensure that there's resilience, capacity, and cybersecurity, what I call responsible trading, responsible innovation that is growing that. That is the beauty of Gen Zs. In Gen Zs today, Nigeria has about 78 million Gen Zs actually. That critical mass, they're going to change the agenda for the capital market. So to answer your questions, they're making it actually better. So I think a X times 5, 10x or 5x growth is going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years.
So a follow-up to that, what are fintechs like Chams PLC listed in the market developing for?
Fantastic. Brilliant question. You've just given a marketer free question to do a free advert. I'll take it. Chams was listed in 2000, and we'll pay you afterwards anyway. Chams was listed in 1985, and it's a company that at some point had, even the stock price was going through the roof. Now, when all that momentum happened, we have to go back to the drawing board and re-innovate. What is Chams doing? Chams is also trying to even re-innovate itself, re-engineer itself from an Holdco structure to a co-op structure, which means it will be operating in this market to address those Gen Z and the Alpha and Beta Gens and also seek the comfort of the older generation. We're actually going to the market next week with an hybrid offer. It's a right issue and a private placement, raising about 10 billion anyway, to actually pump money into the current subsidiaries. Chams was big in identity. So we are the Baba of identity. We're the Baba of card production. We're trying to create what we call smart ID that people can invest into. We're trying to elevate what we call Blue Works, which is a professional way of bringing in artisan into a platform, mechanics, plumber, trader, the blue workers, so that they have smart identity. We're also trying to shake up the institutional world as well, and getting a lot of university to have a one-stop shop of an identity where it can be a bank, which can be a wallet like OP or MoneyPoint. It's called Kego Wallet, where you have Wesley Microfinance Bank behind it, where you have your access and identification in one card. A multi-purpose ecosystem. We are templating something in IFE at the moment. We'll announce it when it's right, but it's somewhere we're doing it. So what that does for the market is allows a fintech like Chams to reinvent itself to address what the Gen Zs really, really want. What are we really solving for? We're solving for legacy. We're solving for institutional continuity of a company that's 40 years old. And we're trying to solve for collaboration and partnership, which is the oil of this current age. In digital online trading, partnership, and collaboration. That's
what is the awareness ratio like?
The awareness is interesting. In fact, our rights issue is oversubscribed from the surveys we've been getting. So when it goes to the market tomorrow, we might actually be biting ourselves to say we should have to push the number. So the awareness ratios, but the awareness ratios can always be improved. Digital infrastructure helps us to reach and to engage better. One of the things we struggle with in Nigeria is how do we tell our story? How do we tell the story of what we're trying to do in the fintech space? So Chams is trying to transform itself, not only even in Nigeria, but it's going in Africa. So we're in Syria alone, we're applying Liberia, Egypt, and also Ghana. And at some point, going to be in Cameroon, partnering with all those. So this awareness is coming. These are the things we are cooking in our storehouse. But we don't want to go it alone. Because, Gabriel, why do I want to run an expertise where I have you, Gabriel, as the expert there? I will collaborate with you and then bring more people on the journey. This is Ubuntu philosophy. So go further with all our other people.
Right. So in the order of development, so we have witnessed the United States of America, passing, Clarity Act.
Yes.
So advancing regulations for the cryptocurrency and digital asset. Now for Nigeria, we also, the ISA 2025 recognizes digital asset as securities. So in what ways would you say as in regards to the increase of investors in the market?
It will, Gabriel. And that's an icing on the cake question. Today, 75 to 78 crypto partners, crypto operators have been licensed in South Africa. That's around that act in the United States as well. The awareness is being created in Nigeria, and I think the current Secretary General and his team of the Exchange Commission and even CBN, they're doing a lot of work. But there's a careful balance between the money market and the capital market. But the capital market is trying to also elevate the noise, the decibel of crypto trading. All that is what Gen Zs and the new investors like me, that I think I'm Gen Z, and I'm not in that age bracket, wants to hear. I want to actually see how Bitcoin and other coins move in the crypto exchange. I want to see how that is happening. So there's a lot of awareness and a lot of engagement happening. I think we're just writing the book at the moment. We're in chapter 2. By the time we turn 3 more years, we'll probably be doing the body of the book. And then in 5 years from now, Nigeria will be a fully crypto country with crypto exchanges and things like that. It's something that America has actually helped us to set the tone. But we also have people thinking locally here that's helped that move forward. I think Agama is doing a great work.
So while commending the SEC in particular, when you move around Lagos State, for example, you see billboard saying cryptocurrency is legal in Nigeria. Now, but it looks like there is a bit breach of information and awareness, because when I go to the street to talk to people, so in the number of 5 to 10 persons, I have found out that 4 out of the 10 persons literally, maybe on a shallow way, understand what this is all about. So I really do not think, from my own perspective, that is the information really is done enough for people to. And also, I have experience with somebody who has been in a stock market, so he's even asking me how to explain to him what that does to the market.
Isn't that an oxymoron? Yeah. So you're right, Gabriel. You're right, Gabriel. There's a saying: if you don't teach them, don't train them, don't blame them. So all these people that we have in Nigeria, I don't know how many we have. Sometimes they say we are 230. It depends on the number that suits you anyway. Some people say we are 200 and the baby's yet unborn. You have to start teaching a reorientation of online trading, capital market, money market, crypto market from primary school, so that the engagement, the curriculum, the exam, the exposure, the soft skill is from that angle, and the inhibitions and all the agendas that old people have created around trading. Somebody that got his hands born in 2007, 2008 can never believe in what I'm saying. So we'll be saying deepening the capital market, deepening the market. There are people saying, what are you deepening? Are you dealing it well? So you have to take it from primary school through the local government to the secondary school. So by the time people are in university, they are really, really baked in understanding this thing anyway, because they were all born in a digital age. Give a 2-year-old a mobile phone, they will dimension it for you. Give a 50-year-old the same mobile phone, it's just receiving call and SMS. So this is where we have to start the engagement. You have to socialize it and begin to spread the seed. Just like what we are doing with this interview. I'm sure this interview will go all around the world. People will know that this is happening in Nigeria and in Africa. So we have to start that so that the inhibitions, for instance, when I was growing up, people used to get afraid of the, what they call the 6 angles of road, Orita Mefa, because people put libations and sacrifice there. Yeah. These days, you don't see those things anymore. And if you put sacrifice in those junctions today, people will go and eat it because the inhibition has been broken. So we have to break that silo and that barrier. That is what we need to do. But we'll continue to engage. I think they're doing a lot. On a scale of 0 to 10, I'll give them 4.5. From where we're starting, but we're beginning to really ramp up.
So who is to influence the educational part of that awareness and information?
No, it's SEC.
Okay.
The capital market players, the CIS. I'm a member of CIS. I'm wearing my CIS brooch today. The capital market operators, they have to come together and begin to influence that. Even to the point that you're changing curriculum, working with the Ministry of Science, Ministry of Digital Economy, Ministry of Education. I mean, for example, the Bridge Institute that we have here in Oshodi is an area we can use to actually start that socialization and that engagement. You have vocational studies that you can create, and they can go into the market and seed that change. You know, don't try to do too many things as one. I'm a big player in celebrating small wins. Take the island, seed the awareness, take it to the next level. Come to the mainland, go to other states, go to Ogun State, go to the north. Lastly, what we're trying to do now is that we find out that 75 to 78% of million Nigerians bet every day. Now, how do you transform that energy of betting into investment? Because betting is like investment as well. That is what some company called StatusSense is doing at the moment. And they're trying to bring it into the capital market. Then some people say regulation and things like that. When we get to the bridge, we will cross it. And when there's no bridge, we'll make a bridge.
So I agree with you in that aspect of education, creating awareness and information, because we have a backlog of fraudulent activities. So when a parent see a young person doing something online, what comes to his mind is that he could be doing, scamming people
which
online,
is not necessarily
which is not
anyway.
So I think that education too has to also boil down from the to
so
the parent as well.
It's a reverse equilibrium from top to bottom, bottom to top, and everything is all encompassing.
Exactly. So for investors, what are those critical features they should look out for in choosing online trading platforms?
You're so right. You see, you have to be self-taught and self-led. So number one is that if you're choosing an online platform, do your own due diligence. Do your own due diligence, because you find out that if you go around social media platform, the ones that are bass, you will know. They actually, you will find people talking about them, that these ones are thieves, and so sort out their own due diligence. Seek for clarity. That's why you have those CIS, for example, the charters of stockbrokers, all the capital market players. That's why you have to go. Go to the exchange, go to SEC. They have forums for you to go and clarify. Don't just do a short-term, quick and dirty investment. I saw some of those guys in your video that I watched before this interview saying he has $5,000 is act. You can't say that. $5,000 is a lot of money. That's about 8 million. You have to always rationalize why your investment is going somewhere. So do your due diligence And then if it's safe, go on. If it's not, don't. There's cybersecurity as well. Hackathon size. There's some people who work every day is to hack you, to steal from you. So you understand that it's a market play of good people, interesting people, funny people, and undecided.
Doctor, so quickly as we wrap up, so maybe in 1 minute, what are the risks that should be mitigated by the market regulators in the capital market, especially
yes,
investors?
Is it from an investor? I think it's two ways. From an investor into playing in the market, and from the regulators as well. Is actually have firm regulatory laws that is usable and is friendly to the end users. Most of the laws that we have, they are too draconian. They're like prison sentence. You have to have regulations that is watertight enough to bring people on board, land people, and expand their thought and expand their aspiration. But regulations. That's what we need to do.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thanks very much, Gabriel. It was nice talking to you.
Coming here to have this conversation with us. Indeed, it was an interesting conversation.
Thanks, Gabriel. Thank you very much.
And that will be all for this edition of WebTV Focus program. But before we go, just to inform everyone that ProShare has commenced its 2025 online trading report survey for the Nigerian capital market. We encourage all capital market operators and retail investors to participate in the survey. For more information and knowledge on finance, the market, banking, the economy, and investing, please visit the ProShare website, WebTV YouTube, and follow our all social media platforms displayed on the screen. Moreover, if you have any concerns or questions about what we do, please do well to put them on the comment section, and that will be appreciated. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I am Gabriel Jude, and have a great day. Bye for now.